Welcome back to Kicks FM Group 7 Rugby League. G'day, it's Max here. We've got Danny Free and sideline Ralphie is right over in the corner waiting for the Berry-Shoalhaven heads to run out, Magpies to run out. Gerriongong Lions standing waiting on halfway. Referee Cara Nolan is with them, and Ralphie, the old boys are ready to get the Magpies all fired up. All right, nice one. Now it looks, well, I'm going to lose this bet every time because Gerriongong have lined up that they're going to defend the Berry Mountain or northern end. And so the Magpies will run out and defend the station or southern end of the ground. The wind seems to have dropped here, and it is a delightful day. It's probably about 20 degrees here. We're blistering in the sunshine. It's absolutely gorgeous. The wind before, well, it was originally from the northeast. It's then come from the south, and it seems to have dropped off at the moment. But the slope of the ground remains. As we listen to the team take the field, and we'll let Ralphie tell us the story there. As they run on through the dusty driveway of the showground arena there and come out to line up against the Gerriongong Lions, and the old boys there giving them a real cheer, as we can hear from the dressing room. Gerriongong singing their club song and celebrating their reserve grade win. It's all happening at the Berry Showgrounds, Danny.
500 metres away from their dressing rooms makes it sound like we're in the rooms.
And it's very nice. I think they have the little concrete boxes over there as well, so it does echo around a little bit. But what a spectacular setting for footy. As you see Magpies come out and do the shaking of the hands of Gerriongong Lions. And by the looks of what's happening here, Josh Ingold, the captain of the Magpies, has the ball in hand. He's going to put it down. He's going to kick off. And as predicted, Danny, I got it right. They're running from the south, protecting and defending the station end. Thank you so much for that, Ralphie, on the sideline there.
See how you go with these numbers, Ralphie, and when you get a chance, just give it to them, and we'll see if we can let people know they're bench for both teams, mate.
Thank you, Ralphie. I think he's sitting with us there. Waiting for a kicking tee here. Let's get a bucket of sand, kick it off like it's the 1970s. Danny, what do you reckon?
Someone holding it down, Max. That would be good.
That would be the old boy. Now the world's smallest ball boy comes onto the field. He's got to be about 2'6". We won't talk about the ball boys because we get in trouble when we do that. And Josh Ingold gets us ready to go underway. The brand new scoreboard here with the time ready to kick down. It's good for us, Danny Free. Love the new scoreboard. Cara Lee gets us underway. The Magpies kick it high, wide and handsome. It's going to be allowed to bounce there, and Toby Gumley-Klein had to go back and get the ball, and he was taken in a great tackle by Jack Parrish there, but the kick only ended up going 20 metres or so.
It's taken, and Berry's got
they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball in the play the ball. Now Caleb Litico, the big front rower, he's only 20 metres out, and a real turn up there. The mistake made by the Lions on the very first play of the game, and now big Luke Ryder crashes forward, gets to within 15. PJ Ford involved in the defence there. He's come on the field. They come to the right-hand side through Joe Rogers, the Magpies, tackled by his opposite number, Rickson Russell, gets up and plays the ball. Now Blake Dryden gets it out across the line. Long pass there out to Ingold. Ingold tips in behind. There's no one at home. Oh, and tell you what, Isaac Russell did well to shepherd that ball. I think over the dead ball line, it's going to be an early dropout. It's all Magpies in the first minute.
Great start, Max. It was exactly what we said about the kickoff, about the undulating ground. Ball actually bounced on one of the mountains not far from about 20 metres out on the eastern touchline and sat up on one of the mountains and bounced in the air.
And the fluky wind as well held it up.
Yep, so really good start.
And a very ordinary drop kick has bounced about 15 metres out. It's managed to make it out to the 40, and it's fielded by Joe Rogers. And so the Magpies with their tails up early in this game as Luke Duffel takes it forward and it's tackled centre field. They go to the left-hand side and hand it out to Caleb Litico for his third run of the game, which is only 2 minutes old. Well done to him. Blake Dryden moves into dummy half, comes to the right-hand side, gives it out to Luke Ryder. Striding well, fends off one, but then gets taken from behind by Danny Wedd. In the tackle there. Dryden now back to the left. Caleb Litico, yet another run. He's been busy, Danny, and been very effective so far. They're only 15 metres out, right in the shade of the uprights of the Magpies. A pass which Ingold had to go up and reach for the sky, and then he gets tackled well by, I think it was Steve Evans there. They come to the right-hand side. Dust flying at the northern end of the Berry Showground. Luke Ryder now tackled just under the... Oh, no, he's not. He gets to get the ball. It's come out to Joel Webbeck, and Webbeck, just held on the ground on the last tackle there. They got within 5 metres, but I don't think they knew it was the fifth, Danny.
And didn't seem to be, Max. A really poor pass, and it was loopy, and then there was no kick at the end. But good defence from the Gerriongong Lions. It's a good start to both teams.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Lions are a little bit shell-shocked now. They had the early giving away possession on the very first play of the game. They had an ordinary drop pick, but as you said, they managed to get out of jail and weather 2 sets from the Magpies, and now they work it out of their own half with 2 minutes gone. We're here today thanks to IGA Liquor Lyndhurst, North Bomaderry, and solid tackle there by Luke Ryder, putting the Lions into the ground 25 metres out from their own line. That was a big hit. We felt that over here on the sideline. Now they try and get a bit of width into their work, and more great defence by the Magpies. They're muscling up in this first defensive set, Danny.
Yeah, it is, Max. It's important not to give a penalty away.
Charge down by Dryden there on the attempted kick by Ricks and Russell, and it's been picked up by 6 again. Isaac Russell managed to go back and pick it up, but gee, they were coming through. Now they've got some width on the right-hand side, and they get away from one, and they get over halfway, the Lions, and into the Berry-Shoalhaven Heads Magpies half for the first time in the game, in the shade of the giant trees over on the western side, as Christian Jarrett kicks it up from dummy half, goes for a little run, and then knocks it on. So their first chance in attack with the ball in the half of the Magpies, they've made a mistake. 3 mistakes.
3 mistakes. Ralphie, any update for the bench there, mate? Okay. And yep. Still also looking for numbers 12 and 13 for the Lions.
It looks to me like PJ Ford has come on in number 12, and I think Danny Wedd might be in 13 or the other way around. Meanwhile, Magpies have won the scrum. They've come out wide to the right-hand side. They've got into the Gerriongong half, and Joel Webbeck, the centre, gets tackled by his opposite number, Toby Gumley-Quine. And he's getting up very slowly after that tackle. I didn't see anything amiss in the tackle. It was just a solid hit, and he gets up very slowly to play the ball. The ref, Cara Lee, is going to call some time off there. And Joel Webbeck, he looks a little bit worse for wear after that tackle. Nothing illegal in it, but just very solid.
Yeah, you seem to be like in the midriff, Max, so perhaps a little lower.
A little bit winded, perhaps a little bit lower. We'd best leave that one alone. So we've got Ralliston in 14 for the Magpies, Holland in 15, Atfield in 16, and Nicholas in 17. Ralphie, have I got those right?
He's just checking with the management.
He's checking with them now, okay. But I definitely see PJ Ford there in his trademark tape round the head.
Yep.
And he's on the field, so I think he or Wed are playing wearing 12 or 13. Number 10, the jersey's been retired, as we spoke to President Darryl Hobbs earlier on. Because too many players have been injured in number 10. It's unlucky 10, unlucky for some. Might be raffled on in a couple of weeks' time at the big game against Clamer. Still waiting. Oh, sorry.
Terrible judge of medical. He's actually holding his shoulder, Max.
Okay, that's a bit higher than you thought it might have been, and it looks like Joel Webbeck is going to be escorted from the field. He's wrapped up his shoulder in his jumper in a sort of sling, and you might hear the appreciative applause from the knowledgeable crowd here at Berry Showground as Webbeck goes off with an injury with only just under 5 minutes gone. And could be a bit of a blow for Berry. They've definitely started the better of the two sides in this game.
Really enthusiastic, Max, but we said we'd seen that throughout the year, and they seem to lose their way a little bit, but they are really in the first 4.5 minutes of this game.
Now, Joe Rogers is going to take the play of the ball. They are, 39 metres out, about 5 metres from centre field, the Berry-Shoalhaven Heads Magpies. It's 0-0 here at the Berry Showground. We're here today thanks to IGA Liquor, Lyndhurst, North Bombadilly, Shoalhaven Hot Water and Elements, Joyce Main Computers and Electrical South Nowra, and the Country Club, St George's Basin and Vincentia. Just waiting for Webber to get off the field. There's Cara Lee bringing us back into play. Comes out to Luke Ryder. He has the world's biggest ball distributor. Gets out to Ingold, and then Aidan McCartney, the fullback, comes out to get involved and gets them to within 35 metres in the shade on the left-hand side. You thought there was a knock-on in the play the ball, but not. Ingold puts up a bomb. It's spiralling and almost going backwards. It's going to land almost where he kicked it. Knocked back by the Magpies, knocked back again by the Magpies. Still the 6th tackle. So the hooker, Blake Dryden, got the ball on the bounce, chipped it through. Excuse me, got taken on the right-hand side there by the Lions, a long way away from where we are, and the dust flies in that northeast corner. It is dry here, isn't it, Danny? I know my throat is.
Yeah, it is. Ralph, you got anything for us? Yep.
Oh, Todd Digger. Okay.
Thank you, mate. Well done.
No worries. Thank you so much. Now, the Lions trying to get out of their own end. They seem to have been doing that for the whole 5 minutes that we've had here at Berry Showground. They're now tackled 30 metres out. Dust flying from the Berry Showground again. It's like we're at the rodeo, not at the football here. They make it to the 40-metre line, 10 metres, 15 metres in from the western side of the ground. 0-0 here on kicks footy. Ball comes back to Russell, and Russell kicks off his left foot. He's inside his 40. He'll be looking for a 40-20, but it's a little bit too straight, not angled enough. Gets picked up by Russell Shepherd on the left wing, and he ploughs forward before he's taken. Oh, Christian Jarrett threw in a hard tackle there, and he got slung to ground. PJ Ford involved in that one as well. And they've left the ball behind.
just about to say they were doing it tough coming out of their own line, Gerriongong, where that knock-on's going to give them an opportunity. Interesting, the kicking game from Ricks and Russell. That's the second kick we've seen go straight down the middle of the park, Max. And the wingers and fullback from the Magpies have been well positioned and been able to run the ball back, but that's a bad mistake.
But at the same time, I did see him made sure he kicked it from inside the 40, so I think he was trying to get a bit of a 40-20 there, but maybe just angled incorrectly. I might just ask Ralphie on the sideline there, the number 17, could you find out who that is? It looks like PJ Ford to me, but I could be wrong. As the Gerriongong win the scrum and get through, Toby Gumley-Quine brushes off one, brushes off another, beats a 30, beats 3 tackles in that, and gets 25 metres out, the young centre 3/4. Just near the middle of the field, Ricks and Russell goes to the left-hand side, gives it to Daniel Brown. Brown out to Michael Brown, his namesake. He's crunched a reasonably hard tackle by Luke Duffel. Now the Lions on the attack. 6.5 minutes into the game, looking down the blind side. Brown gives it to Gumley-Quine, and Gumley-Quine in a 3-on-2 situation has put the ball down for yet another try this year, 5 metres in from touch, and there's an early try to the Lions. They lead 4-0 after 6 minutes.
There might be the difference between the two teams, Max, because the Magpies had a couple of opportunities on their line. They weren't able to take advantage of it, gave away a knock-on, give the scrum penalty, the scrum feed to them, to the Lions about 30 metres out, and then just Toby Gumley-Quine.
Easy for you to say.
It wasn't, and in 2 times in that particular set of play was dangerous, and it was just a short pass from the 5'8". Finds the young bloke in the corner, and a good start to the line.
I want to give credit to 5'8" Daniel Brown. He immediately moved to the left-hand side after they'd made the initial break, and he picked up that there was, I think, a 3-on-2 or maybe a 4-on-3 overlap. Gave the ball out to Gumley-Quine. He did the rest with his speed and his sidestep. And now he's given Ricks and Russell an interesting kick in this fluky breeze, because he's going to take it from about 3 metres in from the eastern touchline. And is it Jackson? I think it's Jackson, normally the kicker, who's out injured with a broken finger, I believe.
Second row, yeah.
The second row, Curtis Jackson. And so the kicking responsibility falling to Ricks and Russell, but he's no slouch in the goal kicking department.
You're right about this win, Max. About 15 seconds, 20 seconds ago was probably the strongest we felt all day. It's almost nothing now.
So you've probably just got to take it out of your equation, like hitting a ball over water in golf. Just pretend the water's not there, Danny.
Yeah.
Just kick it straight between the middle of the upright. So Ricks and Russell now takes a big breath, hard up against the rope that stops the crowd getting onto the ground. Couple of steps, comes in, the ball's teed up high, he's kicked it straight down the middle. I'll tell you what, that's going to sneak over, is it? Oh, it's just dropped under the crossbar. It was so close. And it would have taken a lick of paint from under the crossbar, that one. And so it remains 4-0. 7 minutes gone in this game. A try to Toby Gumley-Quine with the Lions on top.
Yeah, well, the Lions on top on the scoreboard, but a pretty interesting first 10 minutes, a bit of an arm wrestle. This will be an interesting kick-off, see if they do this again.
Okay, now he's kicked a little bit deeper this time. They're still going to let it bounce, and it bounces straight up in the air on one of those undulations we talked about earlier on in the game, and the Lions bring it forward. And some good defensive work there from the Magpies. Manages to stop Michael Brown in his tracks 20 metres out from his own line. Out comes across. Is that Gumley-Quine again? Taking note. It's been given out to Wed, I think. Taking it up on the left-hand side. Comes out to the right-hand side. A step and a pivot there from Big Cal Collins. Gets to within 40 metres. And a little bit too much going on at the end. The ball's been stripped out there. Cara Lee saw it from about 20 metres away. Kick penalty goes to Gerriongong Lions on the 40-metre line, 20 metres in from touch. They waste no time in taking the touch. You're going to one, Danny, please, because that's going they're about 15 metres into the Magpies half now. Let's see what they can do in this set with Big Michael Brown stepping up his left foot and making an angling run before he's taken by Luke Ryder. And plays the ball, quite slow play the ball there. Ewan McCarroll at dummy half gets it out to Ricks and Russell. It comes across to Steve Evans, the big front rower, hungry for work. Gets them to within 30 metres. And as the breeze picks up again from the south behind the backs of the Magpies, Ricks and Russell turns an inside ball into Todd Digger. And Todd Digger tackled 20 metres out. Now they lead 4-0, the Gerriongong Lions. 10 minutes gone in this game. They go to a blindside again. And Daniel Brown has found Corey Mulhall, and he's going to go very close over there. And I think he might have scored it in a complete mirror image of the first try. Danny, 3, it's 8-0 to the Lions.
That's exactly what it was, Max. It's just on the opposite side of the ground, just catch and pass, catch and pass. As I said in the lead-up, there's no shortage of experienced backs in the Gerriongong Lions. It's in the forwards is where they got all the injuries.
And once again, Daniel Brown did very well to read that was the side they wanted to attack. It was a very quick play, the ball that came off the initial settling runs. It came out to Corey Mulhall, and once again it was a 3-on-2. And Ralphie on the sideline over there near you, that was a little bit easy. Yeah, it was. It was pretty catch pass, and just the numbers did it on both occasions for both tries.
It'd be interesting that last week you said, Max, that you think that Daniel Brown spent some time on the interchange bench, maybe a little bit of a burst from the coaches giving him a bit of a serve this weekend. He's certainly started well.
Well, we don't keep stats, but he's got 2 try assists already in this game, hasn't he? He's done well. So an 8-0 lead, and Rickson Russell has a kick, which is a sideline roughie. What is he, about 3 metres in from touch there? Okay.
Were you able to, sorry, Max, were you able to check who number 17 is for the Lions, Ruffy?
All right. Well, there's no mistaking him. He's got that shock of long hair held together by the tape, and he does that boot-laced, scything, tackling style all the time, PJ Ford. A great defensive, and does look great running, attacking runs on the right-hand side as well. Rickson Russell chips this one. The wind has died, but it hasn't helped his kick. He's got none from 2. They take an 8-point lead into the 12th minute of the game here at Berry-Shoalhaven, Danny Free, and all the signs aren't encouraging for the defence on both sides of the Magpies.
Yeah, just a little bit too smart. Catch and pass make the difference. It'll be interesting to see how they fight back. Both kicks have not been converted, and that's kept them on the scoreboard. Need to see a bit of football, and when they've got the football, have to have a bit more respect for it.
Josh Ingold kicks off for the 3rd time in 12 minutes. This one's gone high, wide and handsome, taken just beside the goalposts, and fed back there to Michael Brown, and Brown comes forward and he's taken to ground in some good defence. They're doing some good defence down that end of the park as the Lions try and get out of their own turf, and there's some more crunching defence there. We've got Hugh Atfield on the field in number 16, get involved in that tackle along with Harry Orford. Now a little dash from dummy half, Toby Gumley-Quine trying to use his speed. It's read well by the Magpies. Well, he might almost got an offload away there, but he made it to win 12 metres of halfway. Slow play the ball. McCarroll gets it out to the right-hand side, and held up there by Luke Ryder in the defensive work there, with Cal Collins being tackled just right on halfway. A little dash from dummy half from Ewan McCarroll, throws the dummy and then slips over on the hard turf. Maybe his studs are too long, maybe they're too short, I don't know. It was a bit slippery. Rickson Russell gets it out now with the kick, and it's gone end over. It didn't really hit that one well. It's going to be allowed to bounce. And bounces backwards and to the left, and Luke Ryder picks it up. I don't think he was expecting to be in position to catch that, but catch it he did.
It was spinning like a leg break, Max. It could have gone anywhere.
It was a very badly timed kick. You'd hear it when it came off. It was like slapping someone in the head with a cold lettuce, that kick, the sound it made. I think as Russell Shepherd runs the wing, it comes across from the left wing to take a little dash and get them to win 5 metres of dummy half. Let's see what the Magpies have got in attack here. They bounce off. Caleb Liddicoat bounces off one tackle before he's taken by Steve Evans. Right on halfway where you kick off from, they come to the right-hand side towards us. A second-man play, and then inside for big Jack Parrish. And he's met and dealt with a good tackle from Rickson Russell there. Fighting above his weight as well with Danny Wedd. Now firing the ball out to the left-hand side, and there's a kick from Aidan McCarty with a big left-foot bomb. It's going to be taken by Christian Jarrett. He falls to ground straight away, and probably just as well he did, because the chase was good. McCarty chased his own kick and nailed him to the ground about 25 metres out. And now a dummy half run there from Corey Mulhall. He's strong, isn't he, Corey? And he gets another 5 metres out of them with that dummy half run. And now the forwards will line up. Oh no, there's a little dash from dummy half. And another 5 metres gained. Tackled 12 metres short of halfway. That was Joel Ducey, the left-hand winger, coming in to take some pressure off his forwards. And another short run there, and that's why Tyron Wishart getting within 5 metres of halfway, doing it the simple way at the moment, the Lions, but making 5, 6, 10 metres each tackle, and now they're over halfway. It's the last tackle. Excuse me, calling for a kick here on the left-hand side, but they go to the right through McCarroll and then through Rickson Russell, and he kicks it back across his left shoulder. Oh, it's going to be allowed to bounce. It's gone backwards again, this bounce. Oh, it's been picked up by the Lions, but it wasn't touched by the Magpies, luckily, and that'll be the 6th tackle. That's about the 4th kick that's bounced backwards, Danny.
Yeah, it is, Max. We said this ground's undulating, the ball's going to bounce anywhere. The wind, when this wind picks it up, the ball's not got a natural flow to it, so when it hits the ground, it could go anywhere. We've seen it about 5 times. There's a better set from the Magpies. They didn't give a penalty away, and this is going to be interesting trying to get off their own line. Solid
tackle there from Ewan McCarroll, the small hooker, who picked up and dumped a big Luke Duffel, and now they get it out to the left-hand side. PJ Ford involved in the defence there. They're making hard work of getting out of their own half. Dryden gets it across to Caleb Liddicoat. Liddicoat put on his back. Now there's another good tackle there. I can't see who was involved in that one. It was the number 11, Michael Brown. Well done. They think, let's kick it. I say, that's bounced into the back of a player who I thought was offside for the Gerriongong Lions, but it's been allowed to play on as Cal Collins picked up the rebound right on halfway. I thought he might have been accidentally offside then.
Yeah, just called play on and he just spun back, and it only went about 10 metres off the back of the player, but I thought, as you said, he was offside, so...
Not to worry. 40 metres out, PJ Ford plays the ball, and Ewan McCarroll gets it across to Daniel Brown, who's been instrumental in delivering 2 tries so far for the Lions. They lead 10-0, 24 minutes to go in the first half. Ewan McCarroll moves into dummy half. They're 38 metres out, and a little zap from dummy half there with Isaac Russell off the first player, first man off the ruck. And yeah, he's knocked it on in there amongst a good tackle by Caleb Lidicote. Magpies can breathe a sigh of relief. And we have a 10-0 scoreline, 15 minutes gone in the first half.
Both centres are really dangerous for the Lions. Max Gumley, Quine and Corey Mulhall. They're both big. The young bloke's quite quick, but Corey Mulhall's like a second rower out there, just
very
directing
strong.
traffic.
Very strong. And Daniel Brown having an exceptional game so far at 5'8", directing them around here. Okay, so Magpies win the scrum on their own feet, 25 metres out from their own line, and big Michael Brown standing in the defensive line off the back of that scrum, put paid to any attack that they had. Now McCarty, the fullback coming into dummy half, has a run, but he's brought to ground by Danny Webb. They're defending well, Gerriongong Lions, aren't they? 2 or 3 men in each tackle, locking the ball up, not allowing any offloads. They come to the right-hand side now through Jack Parrish, the Magpies. Quick play the ball, gets picked up by Joe Rogers, the halfback with the excellent name. And he makes good metres, made 10, 15 metres before he's brought to ground. He locked the ball in the tackle there. I thought there might have been a little hand in there from either Cal Collins or Ewan McCarroll, but Carol Lee thought differently. It was a loose carry, and you can't reward those with penalties. So 45 metres out from the Gerriongong Lions, they'll have a scrum and a feed. And a little bit disappointing for the Magpies. They were looking a little bit more inventive there in attack.
Just no respect for the football. It just seemed to be, when things are going okay, a knock-on or a charge down. You see most first-grade rugby league coaches, especially NRL, hate the charge down. Doesn't really give you any value except give the football back to the opposition.
It's kind of a gut reaction to do it, though, isn't it? Christian Jarrett gets the ball one off the scrum and gets tackled in the middle of halfway. Plays the ball to McCarroll. He's done well at dummy half so far. Daniel Brown, who's had a good game so far, threw the dummy and went himself. They didn't fall for it that time, but I'm sure later in the game that might pay off for him. Gets to the 40-metre line, 20 metres from the touchline. PJ Ford tackled, grasped in a great tackle there by Jack, right around the boot tops. Comes out to Rickson Russell. He dummies inside and then goes himself, pushes off one. Gets wrapped up by Jack Parrish, and gee, he almost got through that second line, and now they're lining up for an attacking raid on the left-hand side. It comes out through the big Steve Evans. Steve Evans steps off his left and goes towards the post, and he's tackled only 5 metres out. Last tackle, Carolee says. And looks like there's an injury there too. Is it Caleb? Head clash. Caleb Lidicote, in making the tackle there, has gone down and he's holding his forehead. And Carolee, to her credit, has caught time out there because it was right where all the play was happening.
He's probably been their best in the first 20 minutes.
He's been very busy in attack and also in defence. And Lidicote, he's looking a bit worse for it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some claret coming out of his nose in that department. He looks like it's that sort of pose that he's holding at the moment. He's supporting himself on his left elbow. Trainer is with him. Sideline Ralphie over there near the benches. What's the feeling like on both benches over there at the moment? It's a bit quite funny on that side of the field where the players are and the officials are, but most of the crowd's over here in the sun. So sorry about that, Ralph. You're standing in the shade over there, mate.
So our ambulance, Joel Webber, going to hospital with that shoulder injury, Ralphie?
Okay. Quick reactions from the ambulance. There was Daniel Brown has taken the ball one off the scrum and put a left foot kick on the first tackle. It was dropped by the Magpies, and they get picked up by PJ Ford. And that was lucky. It was the first tackle. They managed to get the ball back, the Gerriongong Lions. Jarrett to dummy half now. Fires the ball back across the left. It's picked up there by Cal Collins, and Cal Collins powers towards the posts, and so the danger signs ringing, the danger bells ringing for the Magpies as it comes across the left at pace. It gets out. It's a great pass from Isaac Russell. Russell has found Joel Ducey. Joel Ducey, corner flags, scores 2 metres in from the touchline, and you can see that try coming a mile off, Danny. It's 12-0.
Isaac Russell and Rickson Russell, I think, combined their max. Really good pass, and then just outnumbered them on the left. Again, they're having all sorts of problems being able to control these outside backs. Also having problems on holding the football. That kick that was across from Daniel Brown was quite shallow. Just wasn't able to take it, and a handball back. The Lions are going to be, they'll be made to pay all day. This is a long way away from full time, Max. But what is that score to take them a second spot?
Oh, well, okay. Now, we were talking about that earlier on. Now, my maths say if they win by more than 42, they'll go to second spot. If they win by more than 34, they'll go to third. They are 12-0 up in 19 minutes.
Yeah, no disrespect to this Magpies team, was certainly trying, but having all sorts of problems holding these outside backs, as we see Caleb Lydiad go to the sideline. Lidicote, go to the sideline, so that's not going to help either.
No, because he's been one of the best for the Magpies in the first 20 minutes of this game. Real show of confidence from Daniel Brown. The cross kick off the first pass off the scrum, and that's a side that's showing a lot of confidence, trying to work those sort of moves early in a tackle count.
Yeah, they need to get the ball to their outside back. These outside backs, especially, but there's the smarts of the Isaac and Ricks and Russell. It's a fantastic pass that created that overlap.
Okay,
Just simply scoring the corner.
This kick is slightly harder than the first one. This one's only about, I'm saying, 85 centimetres in from the touchline. And it's taking it about 22 metres out and into the teeth of the breeze, which is fluky. It's anywhere between nothing and about 15 kilometres an hour, this breeze out of the south. So once again, he's just got to power it straight and hard, I think, this one over the black dot of the post here at the Berry-Shoalhaven at the station end or southern end of the ground, and try to capitalise on this. So far, 3 tries, no goals so far. None from 2 so far for Ricks and Russell. As he pushes back against the crowd rope yet again. Concentrates. Gathers himself, centres himself, 2 steps, comes in, kicks it, and that's cooking back in. And that one's gone over, and he's learned the lesson of the first 2 kicks, Danny. He's nailed that one over, and that means we've got a scoreline that is 14-0, 19 minutes left in the first half.
Okay, so in the first 21 minutes, Max, the first try came from a knock-on. It was about 30 metres out from Berry's own line and gave the ball back to the Lions, and they scored in the corner. The second one came from a penalty, which gave them an opportunity about 40 metres out. They score in the opposite corner, and just then another knock-on, 10 metres out. If you're going to hand the ball back to the Lions, they're going to make you pay. Not just the Berry-Shoalhaven had Magpies, but every team in the competition needs to understand you can't be giving even a damaged Lions team that much football.
Okay, well, Joshua Ingold with yet another kick-off gets this one deep underneath the post, and it's brought out by the Lions as we see the ambulance leaving the northern end of the ground, taking Joel Webber from the Berry-Shoalhaven Magpies, who suffered a shoulder injury about 7 minutes into the game. Some solid defence from the Berry-Shoalhaven Heads Magpies as the Lions get about 20 metres out from their own line. Luke Ryder involved in that tackle and involved in this one again, making a power of defence. Blake Dryden as well. Lions getting 30 metres out from their own line. McCarroll calling for a quick play. The ball goes across to Brown. Brown to PJ Ford. PJ Ford swings it across to the right to Corey Mulhall, and he's taken in the tackle 5 metres short of halfway. McCarroll, another dummy half sprint. It's done well, and he's found Brown. That was a great pass. Found PJ Ford. He's found Christian Jarrett on the outside. Great combination passing at speed on the right-hand side. Now they end up 30 metres out on the last tackle. The ball comes across to Ricks and Russell. Big kick across field here. That one's holding up in the breeze a little bit, and it's leapt up there. Great take by Joe Rogers. That was a great take, running backwards and leapt in the air with both feet off the ground and managed to bring the ball down. And the Magpies managed to diffuse that situation and bring that out. We'll see the Lions muscle up in defence, try and force an error here. The Magpies get 25 metres out from their own line. That's a good one. It's the fullback McCarty. He's been doing a lot of work getting it out from their own half there. He's got a shock of blonde hair. He's not hard to miss. Now they get out to the right-hand side. Oh, the ball's gone to ground. Luke Ryder's had to go back and get that, and he's claimed instantly by Danny Wedd. So a bit of momentum lost there. Another bad pass from dummy half, but picked up beautifully by the Magpies right around their feet there. Can't see a number on that player yet, but it was well done. And now they kick from inside the 40, looking for a 40-20, but it's going to hold up in the breeze. And Isaac Russell's going to swallow that like you swallow your breakfast eggs and get it. Oh, he missed in the great chase by Joe Rogers, went for the bootlace tackle, but then eventually was claimed in a good tackle by the hooker Blake Dryden. And now the Lions get up through Gumley Quine to 5 metres short of halfway. They're playing the game at pace, the Gerriongong Lions, working to their advantage. Christian Jarrett's coming off the wing from dummy half, dummies to the right, and comes back into centre field, gets tackled just over halfway. Ewan McCarroll out to the right-hand side, Ricks and Russell out to Brown to PJ Ford, rampaging on the right-hand side. 39 metres out from the line. It's got deja vu written all over it again. They go to the right-hand side. They're looking for Ricks and Russell. Ricks and Russell has found Corey Mulhall. He's sprinted down the outside with a great pass. He's only 5 metres out. Is this the last tackle looking for the arm in there? Yes, it is. Ricks and Russell gets the ball. He decides to run it this time. It comes across and he finds his brother Isaac. And Isaac kicked it into the ground, passed into the ground. Harry Orford managed to chest it off the ground, off the pass backwards, and it was picked up by the Magpies. But they were looking dangerous, the Lions then, Danny.
That pass misses the winger who ended up pushing the ball back to his own player. It was a 3-man overlap again out here.
And actually a couple of the passes were less than crisp on the Gerriongong Lions. If they had been a bit crisper, they would have scored, as you said, with a 3-man overlap. So the Magpies can breathe a sigh of relief, and they'd love to get some points on the board in the last 16 minutes of this first half. They trail by 14-0. Going for another 40-20 attempt, but that one's a little bit too straight as well. It does force Joel Ducey to run back a long way. Oh, and it dribbles towards the touchline. He ended up making it look a lot better than it was, Joel Ducey, by missing it on the first attempt. Now he runs back centre field and gets claimed in the tackle 15 metres out from his own line. A few of the Lions players on the far side, they're a bit slow to get back here, so maybe the Magpies can pin them down in their own territory with more great defence from the likes of Luke Ryder round the boot tops there of Gumley Quine. and cops a slap in the face for his trouble. And the referee's saying they weren't square on the markers there, so the relieving penalty of the Gerriongong Lions. That's exactly what the Magpies didn't need to do. Rickson Russell steps up and is going to kick it straight towards the commentary booth here. We're almost going to catch this one. Don't hit the kicks, Van Rickson. Oh, he's missed it. Thank goodness for that. That's to be the second Gerriongong player who's kicked the kicks, Van, today so far. Daryl Hobbs will be speaking to you a little bit later on about that. Only one ball on this side. There's only been one ball all day. And it's gone underneath a ute there, one. It's been thrown back amongst the crowd. It's hit someone on the head. It's bounced in field. Lots of action on the field and off. And we're back in play now. McCarroll swings it out there. Great tackle there by Joe Rodders, the halfback. He took Michael Brown right around the legs and stopped him flat. It was fantastic. Now Rickson Russell gets it out to Danny Wedd. Wedge has an encouraging start to this game. Gets a one-handed offload, which finds G. Ras, that's the grass, and gets taken back there by Rickson Russell. Now he works out to the right-hand side and gets it to Steve Evans down the right. And he's made some good ground. Considering the ball went to ground, they made 25 metres off that play. It wasn't bad at all.
Berry didn't react to the bouncing ball, Max. It was a big difference. The only players that were on it were the Lions. The Magpies were looking to see where it went.
And we saw how that affected the Port Kembla side against Kiama a couple of months ago. Similarly, they just weren't reacting to the ball quickly. Now, Ewan McCarroll, very clever play. They ran from dummy half looking for an offside penalty and has received it. Only 3 metres out from the line. They go to take a quick tap, but it wasn't on the mark. Cara says, come back. Cara Lee says, come back and take it from the correct mark. And the Lions will take it 5 metres out.
They'll do well to hold them out here. This Lions team are really well
Look how deep the back line is. The back line is, they're on the goal line. They're almost lined back to us at halfway. Slow play the ball though, that might slow down their momentum. It comes out to the left-hand side, Rickson Russell. And it comes out to Cal Collins. It was Cal Collins, and he gets tackled. He's only 10 metres out, right in the middle of the post now. They keep going to the left-hand side. It comes across to Rickson Russell. Rickson Russell finds Steve Evans. Oh, he was almost over the line, but he dropped the ball forward. It's going to be 2 knock-ons there. And the first one, Cara's calling from the Magpies. There's a bit of a stink going on, a bit of push me, shove you. It's handbags at 3 paces. Nothing will come of that, will it, Danny?
I don't think so, Max. No.
Someone resenting a bit of a tackle there, and there's a bit of pushing going on, but the scrum will go down. End result, Magpies with the loose and feed 10 metres out from their own line. And have they used up all their get-out-of-jail-free cards so far in this first half?
Oh, maybe. They just need to hold a football and not give away penalties. They're giving away 3 penalties and nearly every time they scores points. Interesting refereeing. There's no nonsense about Cara Lee. There was a bit of push and shove. Just walk over. Let's set the scrum. If you don't want to be in it, we'll have other players set the scrum and play on. That's how it should be done. Okay, now Joe Rodders rolled the ball towards the station end of the game in that scrum, and it came out the back. And the Magpies, there's no such thing as a straight feed in rugby league anymore, is there? So.
Not for the last 4 years anyway. They come out to the left-hand side, the Magpies, trying to make ground out of their own territory. They trail 14-0, 12:48 left in the first half.
Tackle.
Muscling up there, Corey. Great defence by the big centre, keeping the Magpies at bay there with Aidan McCarty, the fullback, probably regretting getting involved in that tackle. Coming out to the right-hand side, a one-hand pick-up at dummy half by Blake Dryden. Comes out to Joe Rodders, the halfback, throws a dummy. Throws another one before he's taken by his opposite number, Rickson Russell. And then he drops the ball, but it's been stripped out there. There was a couple of players involved in the tackle, Michael Brown, Rickson Russell, and it was an obvious strip. I saw it from here, Danny.
Yeah, I thought it was a strip. Some people next to us thought it was something that was lost, but you get 2 players in there and the ball comes free. 9 times out of 10, the referee's going to pinch him for a strip, whether it's right or wrong. Now,
Josh Ingold, the captain's having a couple of words to his side before he kicks this ball for touch. Maybe lining up a set play for the kick. He's going to kick this towards us and right over our heads, and that's going to find touch about 10 metres or 8 metres into the Gerriongong Lions half. And they'll be looking to score before half-time here. 11:53 left in the first half here today, thanks to Shoalhaven, Hot Water and Elements. The tap kick will be taken by Jack Parrish. Jack Parrish gets it across to Joe Rodders, and Joe Rodders fires it off to Nicholas. Nicholas, the replacement player, is off the bench there, held up by PJ Ford and Michael Brown. PJ Ford gets through a wealth of defence in every game. They come back to the right-hand side from centre field. Luke Wright, a great backhand ball. Oh, unfortunately, it got intercepted by Toby Gumley-Quine. If there's anybody who don't want to take it in, he'll score. It's in because he's over halfway, and that's a good call from Danny Free, but he would have scored, but they're going to say there's 2 knock-ons involved in that one. You are dead right, Danny Free. The pace he showed about 3 metres in front of us. He had 2 to get around. He got around them as easy as he liked, but there was 2 knock-ons involved there. And, first one to the Magpies, so the Lions will get the scrum 35 metres out from their own line. He's exciting to watch, isn't he, Gumley-Quine?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of him, Max. It's the first time I've really seen him up this close. When we saw him at Gerriongong when he won our Man of the Match award, we're a little further away than we are here at Berry-Shoalhaven. And yeah, he's got pace and strength. He's got everything you need. He's, 19 years old?
Yeah, well, he played in the under-18s last year, so he can't be any more than 19. Okay, so Daniel Brown now running it up. That's a solid run from Brown. It's like a back rower's run. Oh no, it was a back rower. It was Michael Brown. That's why. Gets out to the right-hand side. Corey Mulhall. He's running like a back rower. Steps out of one tackle, gets to halfway, pushes off another, tries to push off another. He does, pushes off yet another. That's 5 he's beaten so far. And finally he's grasped by his opposite number, James Neal, but he takes a power of putting down, doesn't he, Mulhall?
This is one of the most dominant performances seen from an outside back in the whole season, Max. We've been playing 30 minutes. They've got absolutely no answer for Corey Mulhall.
And they've got the ball away there, another offload, and Isaac Russell was up in the line, the fullback, and he gets tackled. He's only 25 metres out centre field. They've got a couple of tackles up their sleeve lines, and comes out to Rickson Russell now. Rickson Russell dummies, then goes back inside, but he's claimed well. But oh no, he got Jack Parrish tackled him, but then he got the ball away to Ewan McCarroll, who was lining up to receive the pass of dummy half, but he got the pass, and now they're only 12 metres out. They come to the left, and there's a dummy half run again now. Rickson Russell gets it out, and the ball's fight out here. Quick hands to do the job, but Danny Wedd goes back in field. He's running backwards now. He gets it back to Rickson Russell. Razzle dazzle stuff here. Daniel Brown gets it across to Cal Collins. Collins to PJ Ford. PJ Ford to Troy Mulhall. Christian Jarrett goes for the try. They went from one side to the other. Spectacular stuff from the Lions. And with 9 minutes to go in the first half, it is 18-0.
Well, you call it a good call, Max, but there was more to it than just the catch and pass. The players have to be doing the right thing, and they stayed in position. Mulhall's too big and strong. Rickson Russell's just having a picnic in the middle of the park, and we see the winger score his second try. They look shot to me, Max, I'm afraid.
Oh, and also enjoyed the ball play there from PJ Ford at pace, running like a centre and giving the final pass to Christian Jarrett, and he flew down the touchline, despite the fact that he's not the quickest player in the world, as admitted by Michael Cronin.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? A few weeks ago we asked Michael Cronin, I said it would be interesting to see Christian Jarrett in full cry, and he said you may be surprised he's not the fastest in the club. Sideline Ralphie for the Basin Club at Vincentia. It looks to me as if Berry's only got a two-man bench at the moment.
Well, they've lost Joel Webeck, who went off to hospital, and then Caleb Lidico went off with a head injury.
Yeah, he's gone straight into the rooms, Max. He hasn't come back out. There's a two-man bench, that's not going to help.
All right, Ralphie now, you can look down at Rickson Russell taking the kick there to your right, and he's once again, he's almost kicking it from out of the ground. So the try scorer is not doing him any favours. So far we've had, what have we had? The fullback, two centres and a winger scoring. That pretty much tells the story of the game so far, doesn't it, Danny?
Yeah, it's just the dominance in the middle of the park, and then it's the catch and pass, but everyone does their job properly. It's not just a matter of, I mean, it's easy to say it's a catch and pass. It sounds like a simple try, but the players have to be in the right positions, and it's certainly happening so far.
Now Russell learnt his lesson from the left-hand side of the field. Do you reckon he'll knock this one over? He comes in.
They're not helping him much with those kicks.
And he's waved that one away, so he's only got one from 4, but it's not really his fault because the fluky wins here at Berry-Shoalhaven are making it a difficult game for place kicks and for kicks in general play.
Yeah, and we see the Magpies will be looking for half-time, so it's still 8 minutes to go. They're walking back to halfway. The enthusiasm they had from the first 10 minutes seems to have lapsed a little bit. They need to get back. They need to try and get themselves back in this particular game. A try could lift them, especially with the old boys, so you give them something to cheer about.
Exactly. Well, you talk about making the crowd quiet. They certainly have quietened down the crowd here. Josh Ingold gets us underway for the 4th time today, and PJ Ford, hair flying in the sunlight here at Berry-Shoalhaven, gets taken 20 metres out from his own line, taken by the winger Harry Orford. Now they come to the blind side there, and they've given it out to, I'm not sure who the player is, anyway, they'll go to the right. PJ Ford, another hit up here. Crushes straight into the same man, Harry Orford. Have they got a thing going, those two? They like to run at each other in this set anyway. McCarroll takes the dummy half roll and fires it off to Rickson Russell, who has been dominant. He's been really controlling the game from first receiver in this half, hasn't he, Danny?
Yeah, he has. The whole, they said, we heard in the, I just see him come down this right-hand side, and Gumley Kwan again breaks the first tackle.
Yeah, pushes one away before he's tackled 38 metres out. Sorry, you're saying?
No, just the comment that Daryl Hobbs was saying about the club all training together. You can see the players are coming, just do their role.
McCarroll goes from dummy half and gets the ball pushed backward. It's gone to ground, and Gumley Kwan's forced to go back to get it. It's the last tackle, so he kicks
offside,
across.
surely.
It's gone sideways there. They realise they're offside because they started backing off, so some good game knowledge there. Game awareness shown by the outside backs of the Lions. Now the Magpies have the ball. They could have done better to go left there, but they've gone to the right and they've dropped the ball, and the Lions come up with another mistake, cruelling the Magpies all through this half. 6 minutes to go. They're down 18-0, and now the Lions on the attack again through Danny Wedd through the middle. And things aren't looking good for the Magpies, Danny, goodness gracious.
A couple of teams in the competition a little bit around the first, second and third spot won't be happy with this. This is a jolt these Lions back into form the way they're playing. Great tackle.
Great tackle on the outside centre there. It might have been James Milne on the left-hand side, stopped the Lions in their tracks, but now they have another crack at it, and it's gone to Cal Collins, and he's got it back inside. And Collins caught, I think it's gone to Rickson Russell on following Cal Collins, as a good halfback should do. And he scored underneath the posts, and that's going to take it to 22-0 for the Gerriongong Lions. And yeah, I believe it was Rickson Russell scoring that try after Cal Collins went through, burst off one, got held up in a tackle, got a ball inside, and as all good halfbacks do, as I said, trailing their front rowers through, Rickson Russell gets a pie, 22-0.
Don't see it enough, Max. You see all these big forwards go through, they break the line and get their hands free. There's no one running off the shoulder. Hasn't been the case nearly every opportunity that they've had so far in 35 minutes of football the Lions have taken. Ralphie, is there much talk on the Gerriongong bench? Do they say much? Does Michael Cronin talk?
Yeah. You can tell Rickson Russell is a goal kicker as well, because he scored his own try right underneath the post to make it easy for himself.
That will help.
Excuse me, is the dust from the Berry-Shoalhaven, which gets picked up as all these players running past the pace, seems to be getting in the back of my throat. Never mind. Rickson Russell 1 from 4. He's going to make it 2 from 5. I'm going to give it to him straight away, Danny.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he's straight out the middle. It's going to be Kima reserve grade all over again, isn't it? But no, he stops and steadies himself, centres his core. The Magpies look on jealously because they've yet to score a try to have a conversion shot out, and he kicks it straight into the new scoreboard at the railway station into the ground, and it's 24-0, 4 minutes to go. And I tell you what, that second place isn't looking like a pipe dream now. 42 points they need to score or win by the Gerriongong Lions to go into second place, and the rate they're doing this, they're going to do that in a cakewalk.
Yeah, two things are happening, Max. Berry have no respect for the footballer, just giving the ball back in terrible position, and every single time there's an opportunity for the Lions in the first half, they've taken it. They seem to have missed absolutely nothing, and look really dangerous. 24-0 with 43 minutes left in this game. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I think they're 5 for 5 getting down that end and scoring tries, or at least 5 for 6, and maybe 5 for 7. But they're being very creative and very destructive down the southern end of the ground. So the Lions have the ball from the kickoff, and they bring it up on the right-hand side. Some defensive work by Nicholas there on the left hand. Defence his edge there. Thought the ball might have gone astray. They work the blind side again, looking to free Daniel Brown, who's looking to free Mulhall, but Brown takes the tackle. He's been a bit more aggressive in his running, and he's paid for it a little bit there, though, because he's dropped the ball in the tackle. And the Magpies will have a scrum and feed 12 metres into the Gerriongong territory, 20 metres in from touch, in the shade of the big trees that exist here on the western side of the beautiful Berry-Shoalhaven. What a glorious day for footy, Danny.
Yeah, it is, Max. We see Jack Woodwell on the second row for the Magpies. A good little second hand from that clash in the tackle. Certainly don't need any more injuries with what looks to be two-man bench. I'll be very surprised if Caleb Liddycote is allowed to come back from a head clash.
Well, and Joel Wibbeck has been taken off to hospital with a shoulder injury, so he definitely won't be coming back. So the Magpies will have to do it with 15 players. They get with the scrum, they come out to the right, and it's Luke Ryder who's tried all this half to make a bust through the middle. He gets to within 30 metres. They come to the right-hand side, and James Milne, the centre's come in looking for some work, and he bet he wishes he hadn't, because PJ Ford plunges him into the ground, and he's joined there by Danny Wedd, and there's two people you don't want throwing you on your back. Gets out to the left through Joshua Ingold, and he throws a pass which has been dropped now. It's pinballed like a Who musical in there amongst Christian Jarrett and various players, and I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Cara Lee is putting her hand out to the no side at the moment. There was at least 6 knock-ons there that I could see, Danny, and I'm not sure where the first one came from.
Yeah, and again, unfortunately, Jack Woodhull come off in second best in that clash as well.
Yeah, once again, a bad pass and not respecting the football, the Magpies. Looks like it might be, yeah, it is a Lions feed. Christian Jarrett is taking the ball one off, and he stumbles and makes 3 metres on his knees, which is hard to do on a hard ground, but he's done it nevertheless. Takes the tackle, comes out to the left-hand side. And they've busted right through the Gerriongong Lions, over halfway with Toby Gumley-Quine looking to the left. He's got Caroline Nolan in support. He's not going to pass to her. He eventually gets tackled by Blake Dryden. Great break by the young centre.
I think if he finds Isaac Russell, let's go another post there, Max.
Definitely. Look, they might score already because here goes Michael Brown stepping through, and he's taken the ground. He's only 10 metres out, and he's lost the ball, trying to get a miracle ball away to the inside. And a sigh of relief goes across the back line for the Magpies, and it's taken up by Big Luke Ryder. And they get out of jail there, 24-0, a minute and 11 seconds left in the first half. And Gumley Quine again, carving them up on the left. Corey Mulhall carving them up on the right. These centres are going to town today, Jim.
One bloke who has impressed me from Magpies, Max, is the fullback, Aidan McCarty. He chased Gumley Quine there. As I say, it was great defence, but I think if he passes the ball to the right, they score again.
He shepherded him to the referee, which I thought was quite clever, cutting down the options that he had because he couldn't pass to her. The Magpies now are 40 metres out from their own line, trailing by 24. There are 44 seconds left in the first half. Comes out to the right-hand side through in goal. That's Joe Rogers, the halfback. Kicking on the bounce to Joel Ducey. Joel Ducey picks it up, pins his ears back, steps to the left and beats one. Now he's going to try and come back through the middle, and there's another good tackle in centre field, 40 metres out from the line with Jack Parrish getting involved in that one. A little scoot from dummy half now. Todd Digger gets right to halfway and wrestled to ground by Luke Ryder. There's a strong move there. The bigger don't argue tackle. Carroll gets that to the left-hand side. Ricks and Russell might be looking at the clock because there's only 12 seconds left, and they might put a kick in here. Comes to Danny Wedd, and Wedd pushes off one, now runs backwards. They'll fire it back. They might try and get a kick in here. PJ Ford, no, he's no kicker. He's a go-forward player, though, and he gets tackled to ground, and that will do us for the first half. Tackled to ground, 35 metres out. Throws the ball away, gets up, heads towards the sheds. 24-0 to the Gerriongong Lions. We'll take a break for Kicks FM. Group 7 lead. The Lions lead 24-0 at half-time.
But what have we got? 24-0.
24-0.
The Magpies score straight away and put a little bit of pressure on, but that 44 is looking a bit how you're going. And I think that if they were second at the end of the round, we'd be very, very happy. Gerriongong Lions Club.
They definitely would, and as we've mentioned so many times today in the last couple of weeks, given the injuries that they've had, the strength of the club is their depth. And they'd be very happy. Michael Cronin would be very happy, although he probably wouldn't be able to tell, but he'd be very happy with the way they're playing so far. So, second half underway. Excuse me. And Gerriongong now defending the southern end. They kick off to the northern end, the Berry Mountain end of the ground. And the Magpies bring it forward in a big puff of dust. A very dry ground here at the showground, and they get forward and tackled well by Michael Brown. Got through a power of defence in the first half, and he starts off the second half in the same stead. Now the Magpies are another big defence there from Cal Collins, helped out by Todd Digger as well. They're 40 metres out from their own line, the Magpies. Now comes out to big Luke Ryder, and Luke Ryder powers forward. No, it's Holland. Josh Holland there. Played a good game in reserve grade as well. They come to the blind side, right in front of us here. It kicks, and they found a way down the left-hand side through James Milne. He kicks through into the middle. He's looking for the chase by Blake Dryden. He won't be quick enough because it's picked up in the backfield there by Isaac Russell. He read that well, but a surprising break down the left wing. Well done to James Milne.
Yeah, a bit of bad luck. Actually, the kick went back towards the goalpost. If it went towards the sideline, there were a chance down the wing.
Yeah, because they did have Harry Alford down the left-hand side. But they were very much covered by the defensive players, so the kick was the right option, but perhaps it should have gone to the left. It was actually Russell Shepherd on the left wing. So, first attacking foray by the Magpies, but now the Lions have the ball working away out of their own half, 20 metres in from the western touchline. The Shadows now encroaching about, splitting diagonally from the northwest to the southeast corner. And then the McCarroll goes from dummy half, looking for a one-armed offload, gets it to Gumley Quine. He gets it out to PJ Ford, and he's tackled well by Joe Rogers, 5 metres short of halfway. That's the last tackle. Michael Brown, of all people, kicks it, and it's beautifully held there in the backfield by Harry Orford. It was a great catch on that kick. It came like a bullet at him, and he reached up and just plucked it out of the air.
Yeah, they've got some, their back line, the back three for the Magpies have been quite good. They just haven't seen enough ball, and they've got opportunities, but Aidan McCarty has certainly made no mistakes in the first half.
He's done well. Now big Luke Ryder takes it forward and gets them over halfway. A cut-out pass comes out to James Milne, looking to replicate the break he made about 5 minutes ago. But Corey Mulhall throws into the ground. The ball bounced out the back. It went backwards, picked up by Russell Shepherd.
6 to go.
He gets wrestled with 6 to go, and then he was chased by Corey Mulhall, and the referee's going to say
no advantage.
It was knocked on, no advantage after the knock-on by Corey Mulhall. There's 2 knock-ons going there. I think it's going to be a Magpies feed as Russell Shepherd puts his clothes back on after having his shirt ripped off by Corey Mulhall in the nicest way possible. And the scrum goes down 5 metres into the Gerriongong Lions half, 20 metres in from the Kicks commentary side of the ground, in the diagonal half of the ground that does still have sunshine. Now they pass it into the shade. And we lose the players there. Now McCarty, the fullback standing up in the line, looks to make a break, gets put back and then muscles his way forward. That's a strong run from McCarty. Well done. He went backwards 5 and then forwards 10 and gets up a bit slowly. It was a big effort, very slowly, and it falls to the ground afterwards. I hope they don't have another injury here. The Magpies are down to a 2-man bench already. They're 20 metres in from the western touchline in the shady part of the ground. They go to that side of the ground. The wide blind side is what I was trying to say. They get to within 35. Now they come back to the open. Fed out to big Josh Holland. He powers forward. He only knows one way, Josh Holland. He made about 200 metres in reserve grade. He had a huge game. Trying to replicate that now in first grade. Comes out to Josh Ingold. Ingold looking for big Jesse Ryder. He gets, Luke Ryder. He gets tackled on the last tackle, 15 metres out. Ingold dummies to left, then steps back to the right. Now a crossfield kick. That looks like a bit of a set move to me, but the ball's going to go a little bit deep and it's handled easily by Joel Ducey in goal, and he'll run back to the 20 metres as quickly as you can to get the seven tackle set underway, and now he runs straight into Luke Ryder. Not a good thing to do because that's like a big stop sign. Yes. And stop he does 5 metres, 25 metres out from his own line. Christian Jarrett comes in as he likes to do early and sets in his own end. Comes in from the right wing, takes the pressure off, gets to within 12 metres of halfway centre field. Ewan McCarroll looks to the left, dummies to PJ Ford, goes himself, slung to ground by Nicholas, 2 metres short of halfway. They'll come to the right, will they? And Carolee, not happy with where the ball was played, pushes them back 2 metres. And on we go again, comes out to the right, Cal Collins powers forward, taken by Blake Dryden. The one-armed offload, that was a clever play. Daniel Brown's on the right-hand side. So's Corey Mulhall, steps inside one, but can't get the ball away. Took some tackling, and tackle he did, Joshua Ingold, well done. Now they move into Brown at dummy half to Rickson Russell. The inside ball fight to Cal Collins, he powers forward and gets taken in the dust bowl. 32 metres out from the line, centre field. 2 tackles left here for the Lions. They lead 24-0, 35 minutes to go in the only Group 7 Rugby League game being played this weekend. Out to the left-hand side, crunching defence by the Magpies. Well done to them. Last tackle, 25 metres out, 20 metres in from the western touchline. Shady days over that side of the field. Rickson Russell puts the kick on. It's gone more sideways than forwards, but Corey Mulhall went up to get it. His opposite number, James Milne, pushed it backwards, and luckily for him, Russell Shepherd was there to clean up the dregs and play the ball 15 metres out. Ended up being a reasonably good kick, but the Magpies were up to stifling that attack. Now they come across the right-hand side. That was a bit of a tackle around the throat there, I thought. Yeah, might have got a call there from the touch judge as well. And the right arm got flung out there by, I'm not sure who it was, but ended up being a high tackle there. It was actually Todd Digger. More by accident more than in anger, but nevertheless the penalty, 35 metres out, centre field. Magpies kick, and that's a shocking kick to touch. It's found about 3 metres. Okay. I suppose it's better to be safe than sorry, but sometimes you've got to take a risk, don't you?
Well, I don't think he meant to kick it basically
quite that badly.
Max, but it was, there's a penalty count 42, which is pretty low for Group 7.
I always say if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, you know, have a shot for touch. Anywho, Magpies take the ball up 11 metres from their own side of halfway, and that was James Milne, who started this second half at 1,000,000 miles an hour, the left centre, really trying to get his team sparked. Luke Ryder gets to halfway off the next play the ball, then picked up from Dryden at dummy half, and that's encouraging signs from the Magpies. They're playing the game at pace now, trying to catch the Lions on the hop if they can. Comes out to Ryder again. He was looking for Holland, but he didn't get the ball away, and he got tackled 35 metres out. Now the ball goes back to Joe Rogers. Rogers fires it across the line to Parrish, standing in the back line. Tackled by his opposite number, Michael Brown. 30 metres out, 2 tackles left. They'll swing back to the left-hand side. Comes out to Joe Rogers, and he puts the end-over-end bomb. And Isaac Russell going back. Oh, they've gotten in each other's way. Russell and Christian Jarrett got in each other's way. But somehow the ball bounced up, came off one chest, went backwards, and Christian Jarrett ended up with it. You can't let the ball bounce. It's asking for trouble, Danny.
So it was a weird kick again. Max's opportunity for Magpies, if they would chase, was better. But eventually between Isaac Russell and Christian Jarrett, they got out of it. They have to work their way off the line. It's 4 tackles about 20 metres out.
A fluky breeze and an undulating ground makes for strange bedfellows when you're kicking the ball on the ground here, and even the high kicks that bounce are having a strange reaction off the ground. Anywho, the Lions now, there's a big run from Rain. He's trying to catch them offside, but made 15-20 metres. He's still going. He's held there by Joshua Ingold. Now a couple of tackles left here for the Lions. Comes back to the left-hand side, looking to work something out through Gumley Quine, and he goes backwards to go forward as he likes to do, and quite often he's got the speed to do it, but this he's still going. He's come back into the right-hand side, tackled a little bit high-ish by Joshua Ingold, not high enough to earn the wrath of Carolee Nolan. Last tackle now, 39 metres out. McCarroll finds Rickson Russell. Rickson Russell gets it across to Daniel Brown. He finds Mulhall. Anything could happen here. Mulhall gets it out to Christian Jarrett. They look forward from here, but he goes forward, gets ankle tapped by Dryden, but gets the pass away to Mulhall. Mulhall finds it back now. They're going back across to the left-hand side of the field. A dummy, and then inside by Todd Digger. Back to the right-hand side. Daniel Brown gets it to Christian Jarrett. He was tackled almost as he had the ball then. The play went from left to the right to left and back to the right. They ended up 3 metres out, and that'll be the turnover. Harlem Globetrotters stuff here from the Lions, Danny. And sideline Ralphie, that's right in front of you. Entertaining stuff. The crowd must be loving it in that corner. Nice one here. And then Magpies now trying to work it out. A risky pass there given by Ingold, but they got away from it right in front of their own post. It comes back to the left-hand side. And that's Jack Parrish there. Gets 25 metres out from his own line on the sunny side of the street here at Berry-Shoalhaven. There's James Milne again, the centre, who's been highly involved on the left-hand side, trying to get them out of their own area, but they're only fourth tackle, and there's a kick on the fourth by Josh Ingold, well fielded by Christian Jarrett, who just got back in time to claim that one on the fourth tackle. Runs straight at Luke Ryder, and he's dropped the ball in a one-on-one strip there. Well done by Luke Ryder. He's tackled now 5 metres in to the Lions' territory, and Caroli's going to blow this up and say the ball went forward after the strip. So Ryder had executed the strip, but then as he was trying to grab the ball, he knocked it forward. We got a call from the touch judge right in front of us, and a let off there for the Lions because they let the ball go too easily on the first tackle.
That's the first time we've seen that. The Lions have a little bit less respect for the defence and for the football. And there was a bit of that in that razzle-dazzle you called it a few minutes ago, Max, where they threw the football around. It didn't really go anywhere, just throwing the football around. They look like they want to score a lot of points, but it's been a good start 10 minutes into the second half for the Magpies.
It has been a strong start for the Magpies. James Milne's done particularly well, and as has Luke Ryder. They've been the two standouts. Anyway, Daniel Brown, the 5'8", running like a back rower again, gets them 5 metres over halfway into Magpies territory. Rickson Russell moves into dummy half and has a little scamper, almost burst through the first line. That was a good move and a good call for him to go for a run there. He's ended up only 30 metres out. They'll keep going to the right-hand side, and they'll go through McCarroll, and he's made a dummy half scamper with 10 metres as well, so a bit soft up the middle of the ruck at the moment, the Magpies. They'll keep folding to the right now. Rickson Russell looks for his brother Isaac. Isaac runs across field, gets it out to, tried to get out to Corey Mulhall, but that man James Milne has picked it up after the ball was dropped there, but I think there's going to be 2 knock-ons there, or is there just the one? Right in front of you, sideline Ralphie, was there a double knock-on or just the Magpies? Okay, no, she's put her arm out for the Lions, so I think Milne, in trying to pick up the ball and run away, has dropped the ball, which is a real shame.
It might just be me, Max, but I didn't hear the whistle blow there, and it just looked like the centre gave himself up and just stopped running. Yeah,
he was kind of like, it's kind of, as you said, giving himself up. So now the Lions a real attacking chance in this second half. We've got 29 minutes to go. They lead 24-0, and they get a scrum 10 metres out, 30 metres in from the sideline. It comes across to the left-hand side. Gumley crying, just hypnotising them with his pace. He stepped round 1, he stepped round 2, and that reminds me of Dylan Morris last year against Port Kembla. And he's managed to score from almost directly in front of the post, run across field 20 metres, beaten 3, and put the ball down 5 metres in from touch. What about the pace, Danny?
It's the right foot step that gets him into the open, and he's big and strong, but he's quick, and the right foot step just bamboozle the outside backs, and then he's just too quick. Both centres, Max, have just been so dominant, Mulhall and Gumley Klein, but as soon as the Lions get an opportunity to spread the ball wide, they're dangerous. When they're going through the middle or when they're starting to be a little bit more fancy, that's when the Magpies seem to be able to crowd them up. It's not the way the Magpies wanted to start, but nearly every opportunity, especially on that left-hand edge, Gumley Klein breaks the tackle.
Well, look, the first time they've really been in an attacking position, because the Magpies, let's face it, they dominated possession and position for the first 12 minutes of this second half, but then the Lions get down there, and Gumley Klein, the pace, the step and the finishing, just incredible. Sideline Ralphie there, you made it look easy, but it wasn't that easy. Yeah, good point. They managed to hold them out here on the right-hand side, but you've got to defend both sides against this Lions side who have so much power and strength. They've got the likes of Ford and Mulhall combining on one side, and then on the other side of the field, Daniel Brown, combining with Toby Gumley Klein. They've set up the try there, 28-0. Rickson Russell's going, I'm going to say he's about 5 metres in from touch there, and he has a kick with the wind sort of behind it and across him, and he's missed that one as well. He's got 2 from 6 today, and the score remains 28-0 with 28 minutes to go in the second half. Then he's free.
Yeah, this Magpies team just seems to be moving back in line. It still only looks to me to be a 2-man bench here, Max. So the Magpies are going to do very, very well to just keep their numbers. Just need to calm down, forget about the scoreboard, see if they can put some points on the board with some consistent play.
Jack Parrish doing the kickoff. Jack Parrish doing the kickoff there for the Magpies, and it's taken on the right wing. I think it might have been Ducey taking it down there. And the Lions get about 20 metres out from their own line. There's an encouraging run. Todd Digger, he's been strong and forceful in everything he does today, Digger. McCarroll, who's had a dominant game in dummy half, he dummies and goes through the gap behind the ruck, which closes up very quickly, probably quicker than he anticipated. Tackled 10 metres short of halfway. They come to a wideish blindside through Cal Collins. Cal Collins wrestled to ground there by Nicholas. Good bit of defence there from the Magpies. And assisted by, I think it was Hugh Atfield as well. They come to the blindside again. Corey Mulhall chancing his arm. Gets through one and pushes off another. Now he's pushed off a third. They came back and eventually got him, but he's causing trouble every time he goes around there. McCarroll kicks it out to Daniel Brown. He's kicked back across his body from left to right. Oh, it's taken a leg break, that one. And poor old Aidan McCarty there got bamboozled by the bounce of the ball, and I think he may have knocked it on in the air there.
I think Nick Ricks and Russell may have knocked it on, Max. I'd be surprised if this is not a very feed, but...
it's going to be a turnover because it was the fifth, so yeah, Russell must have knocked that on. But that ball, it bounced backwards and at right angles almost. Absolutely incredible bounce of the ball there, and Magpies did well to get out of jail there. Luke Ryder, he hasn't stopped trying all day, the big back rower. He takes it up, gets 15 metres out from his own line. Now they feed it across to the left-hand side, and there's another encouraging run from Holland there, the big Magpie back row replacement player. He's come onto the left-hand side now. They've thrown in their pass. Christian Jarrett pushes off one player, pushes off another. He's going to score in the corner. Oh, he snaffled the intercept pass like a thief in the night, pushed off two and scored right in front of you, sideline Ralphie.
Team, actually, as soon as he got hold of the football, I was just thinking, how quick is he after we had that comment from Michael Cronin a few weeks ago? That wasn't pace that got him there, that was just pure strength and two fends. He was just too big and strong.
It's almost like he couldn't believe the ball was delivered right into his breadbasket. He sort of looked up and thought, I've got the ball here, I should do something with it. So he put the power down. Admittedly, it wasn't that quick, but yeah, two big, don't argue, fends with the left arm, and then puts the ball down about 2 metres in from the right-hand touchline, and Ricks and Russell will have another hard kick to try and add to this 32-0 scoreline with 25 minutes left in the game, and they're getting edging closer to the third spot now in terms of points for and against. If they win by more than 34, the Gerriongong Lions, they will go to third. They need to get 42-point margin to go into second, and looking pretty likely at the moment.
Yeah, Max, it's 25 minutes. I think we're going to see more points, and at this stage, you can't see many of that coming from the Magpies, unfortunately for this home crowd.
Yes, so, excuse me, a long way to go, and once again, second time they've been down there in this half, second time they've come away from points now. Ralphie, you be quiet around there, because Ricks and Russell's only about 3 metres away from you. Don't say anything, because you might make this. Don't say anything, Ralphie. Here goes Russell now, he kicks it in. Oh, he's hit that one like I hit a 7-iron, which is not very good. Ralphie, did you say anything to him there? Okay, this wind is so fluky is the word I've been using, and I think that's a good word to use because, well, more than I think otherwise, but yeah, it just makes it so hard to put those kicks up, and in general, players playing havoc with them as well, especially with the uneven bounce we're getting. Jack Parrish with a kick-off. I think Josh Ingold's probably sick of kicking off in this game, so he's given the duties over to Ingold, and Daniel Brown is taking the kick-off, and then it's brought up and well tackled there by Ralston. 20 metres out from their own line. Their tails are really well and truly up now, the Gerriongong Lions, with a 32-point lead, 23 minutes to go in the game, and making relatively easy meterage. They get to within 12 metres of halfway. McCarroll flicks it out to the left-hand side. It's picked up by Danny Wedd. Danny Wedd gets to within 5 metres of halfway. Some solid defence on the right there. Ralston and a couple of his mates. Now Ricks and Russell moves it across and finds Todd Digger in centre field right in halfway. Looking for the offload. Got the offload away, but I reckon that might have gone forward. And so does the referee. So do the touch judges. They gave them the call. And the scrum will go down right in the middle of the ground with a Magpies feed. And wasn't a millionaire pass, but maybe he could have held onto the ball there, Danny.
Well, I might have had a touch of millionaire, Max. I don't think Michael Cronin will be all that happy with that. It's right on halfway, a bit leery from one.
Okay, now the shadows. I'm going with 2/3 across the ground now, Danny.
Yeah,
we're going to get a little bit chilly soon, but not to worry. The football has been of the heating up quality, at least for the Gerriongong Lions. Now, scrum worked and fed and won by the Magpies. Oh, solid tackle on James Milne there. Very big tackle. Is that was Corey Mulhall again? dominating his opposite number there and saying, stop, you're not going anywhere at all. And now another big tackle here, Christian Jarrett on McCarthy, I think that is. The fullback has come up to have a little run. And he got tackled right in front of us, which is right on halfway. There's a big hit by Daniel Brown. Did he use the arms in that one? Because he certainly had a big impact there. Yes, he must have. And that was Milne again, copying his second big hit for the set. Goodness gracious, it goes across to the right to Luke Duffel, the front rower, tackled midfield, 40 metres out. Blake Dryden picks it up and feeds it back into Caleb Liddicoat, who's back on the field.
Yeah, good luck.
So he must have recovered from that head knock, so well done. He's a big unit, he made some good metres. There's a last tackle there. They're going to have a run on the right-hand side. Now Joe Rogers with the chip and chase. Going to be bouncing up into the arms. Oh, bounce up into the arm, almost of Joe Rogers there. But it finally ended up with Joel Ducey on the left wing there. And he gets tackled 12 metres out. So interesting play from Joe Rogers. It was a good thought. And if the bounce of the ball had gone otherwise, he may well have been scoring on the right-hand side. As it is, the Lions working it out from their own half in a 32-point advantage to their names. They're now 30 metres out from their own line. We're here today thanks to Joyce Main Computers and Electrical South Narra, Shoalhaven Hot Water and Elements, the Country Club St George's Basin in Vincentia, and IGA Liquor Lyndhurst North Bombardary as Corey Mulhall makes another typically strong run and gets to within 5 metres of halfway, 10 metres in from the eastern touchline. And Isaac Russell moves into dummy half and has a little canter and gets over halfway with a couple of tackles. No, that's the last tackle on their sleeve. McCarroll will look to a wide blindside. Daniel Brown puts up a spiralling bomb. It didn't go very high, so McCarty has no problems in getting it. The chase wasn't really on him. Oh, gee. Well done by Todd Digger. Todd Digger, a one-on-one strip, got it out to Christian Jarrett. Clever play by Digger then. And Jarrett ends up with the ball only 25 metres out, and the Magpies have to start back heeling. They come out to the left, and it goes right across to Toby Gumley-Quine. He's got it out to the left-hand side to Joel Ducey, and Joel Ducey scored as quick and easy as you like. From the one-on-one strip, the ball went across to the left. Gumley-Quine got the ball out to Ducey, and it's 36-0 after 60 minutes in this game at Berry-Shoalhaven.
It was easy because he was quick, Max. It was a pass from Gumley-Quine. He had an opportunity, and we've seen him all day. He'd been able to break tackles and run. This time he saw the opportunity to give the ball to Ducey, just too fast down this right edge. Both outside backs, the tries have all come from the outside backs, have they not?
Yes.
Apart from Ricks and Russell.
Yeah, apart from Ricks and Russell, they've come to the centres and the outside backs, and there's been 8 tries now so far in this game. And it doesn't look like it's stopping. There's 20 minutes to go. And, gee, I thought Gumley-Quine was going to go for his hat-trick then, but he saw Ducey on the outside, and if you've got an outside man unmarked, why not give him to him and make Ricks and Russell's kick all that much harder?
Yeah, a 19-year-old. It's good to have the pace and strength that he's got, but he also has the opportunity, the ability to read the game pretty well and make sure that the winger got the ball early, and that was shut the gate once he did.
Ricks and Russell now, he's got 2 from 7 for the day, and just a reminder that it is the Magpies of old day here today at the Berry-Shoalhaven, and after-match presentation and first try scorer auction is going to be held at the Great Southern Hotel, and everyone is invited to attend in the newly bypassed village of Berry. Ricks and Russell moves in from 2 metres in from the touchline on the western side, and that's a pretty good kick, that one. He's got 3 from 8 now, and the score moves to 38-0 to the Lions over the Magpies.
Yeah, 38-0 with 19 minutes to go. Joyce Main Computers and Electrical Scoreboard, Max. That 42, we'll see that in the next couple of minutes.
Well, every time they've visited the northern end, the Berry Mountain end this half, they've come away with a meat pie. Have the Lions. Jack Parrish has yet another kickoff. That's a nice kickoff. It's going end over end, and it's almost a carbon copy because Daniel Brown fields it 10 metres out from his own line and feeds it back in there to Cal Collins. Bounces off one, spins off another, and gets to within 20 metres of halfway. A very good run from Collins. Now they swing it out to the left-hand side, and it comes through Michael Brown, looking to outdo his mate Cal Collins, and almost did. He made another good 10 metres out of that. They go to the left, McCarroll at first receiver this time. Get to within 5 metres of halfway. And almost a lifting tackle there, but nothing too much in it. Caroli lets the play go on. They'll swing back to the wide open side. Ricks and Russell runs to the line, then gives it out to Daniel Brown. And Daniel Brown crunched in the tackle there. Almost makes halfway. He's just short when he plays the ball, and 2 tackles left. Wide blindside, and they'll use it. Comes out to the right. They'll look for Corey Mulhall. He's been cutting them up here, and he gets a good tackle there by Josh in goal. Although Mulhall was only moving at half rat power in that particular run. Now Ricks and Russell lines up the torpedo bomb. Got more torpedo than bomb in it though. McCarty handles it well and then feeds it back to, I think, Harry Orford there. It was a good little switcheroo in front of his own post, and they get 10 metres out from their own line, and they've knocked it on in to play the ball in front of their own posts. Harry Orford is responsible for that error, and I think he was just trying to play the ball a bit too quickly.
I think he might have had a little case for a little hand in the plate of ball, Max, but he tried to play it a little bit too quick and got pinched for it.
38-0 at the moment. We're looking for 42 points. You said it'll come quite quickly. This scrum is only 12 metres out midfield for the Lions. What odds them scoring in the next 3 or 4 tackles?
Oh, they'd do very well to hold them out here. This Lions team with this much ball and this much time on the clock, this could be anything.
That ball came out the same tunnel. I haven't seen that for a long time.
I saw a ball on Thursday night come out to run a win against the feed.
Yeah,
we had to refeed it.
Very rare indeed. Okay, they've gone to the left-hand side, and Gumley Quine stepping off his left, falls to ground, steps off his left again, claimed in the tackle where the scrum got taken. An encouraging run, but all for now, as they say. It comes out to Rain at dummy half this time, and he gets it back inside to Todd Digger, who's been busy in the second half. Digger has been working like a soldier. They get it out to the left-hand side. It comes out to Rickson Russell. Sorry about that, Danny.
Yeah.
Out to Isaac Russell. Oh, fed out there to Danny Wedd, and a great tackle right round the boot tops. Got up to play the ball quickly and was interfered with as he tried to do so, Danny Wedd. So the penalty goes to the Lions, 5 metres out, about 10 metres in from the western side, the part of the ground that's bathed in shadows now from the giant trees here at the showground. The ball comes back to, it's going to be taken, a tap kick now. It comes out to Rickson Russell. They fire it across to the right. Had to reach for the pass there, and eventually Cal Collins gets the ball. And the ball went to ground. It's been picked up by Milne, I think, and the ref's going to call a knock on both ways there, I think.
Very knock on. I think you'll find it's another feed to the Lions.
Okay, there. The ball went back and trying to offload, and then Milne again. I think that's the third time he's tried to pick up a mistake from the Lions, and he's knocked on. And not really his fault, because it's always messy, scrappy ball when you're trying to pick up the ball at pace. But yeah, another chance here for the Lions to add to their 38 points they have at the moment. 16 minutes 18 to go. Rickson Russell works the scrum right in front of the post, dummies to the left, comes to the right, picked up the back by Isaac Russell, and the scrum scrapping in at number 8 there. Eventually got an offload away, but Cara Lee had said play the ball, so he will play the ball 2 metres out, 15 metres in.
No, I'm harping on it, and they're getting belted, Max, but this fullback is a really good footballer, Aidan McCarty. He's been involved in some wonderful defence right on his line.
Yeah, without him they would be about 60-0 at the moment, I reckon. That was taken up there by Cal Collins again in the shade of the post, very slow to get up. Now he kicks up like Ralph Macchio in the Karate Kid, gets up and goes to the left-hand side through Rickson Russell, dummies inside, goes outside, great tackle there. PJ Ford grasped in a boot cutter, boots on the Joe Rogers, good tackle, and comes out to Gumley. Quine stepping off the left, goes backwards again to go forward. Now the ball comes out to Daniel Brown. He steps, and he's met by the reception committee. That was McCarty again, I think, at fullback. Up in the line that time, stopping him 10 metres out from his own line. He'd want to get back into the defensive line because they're going to swing it out to the right-hand side now. Rickson finds Isaac. That's Russell's to you and I. Comes out to Christian Jarrett, slips right in front of the ball there, and now can't see Corey Mulhall's gone from dummy half on the last tackle. He's had his pants stripped from him almost there. It was a very cheeky run for a second there, and he's going to be pulled up with a turnover.
Well done to the Magpies.
Yeah, they did well to hold them out there. Now they try and bring it out of their own territory, and they're forced back. Are they going to get them in goal here? They're going to go very close. The referee's going to blow it up and say, I called held while you're only 3 centimetres into the field of play, so play the ball as it was. Pretty of a let-off there for the Lions. They come out to the right-hand side. They're trying to make it out of their own area here, but rain is stopping them in their tracks. Rickson Russell involved in the tackle as well. They're only 5 metres out from their own line. Not many tackles left here. They come out to the right, and there's another good tackle by Todd Digger. And maybe they're up a little bit quick there. Hold on, there's a bit of a stink going on here. A few people being grabbed around the throat. More players coming in. No real punches being thrown because they're all pretty much too close to each other. They're being grabbed around. Cara Lee doesn't want any of this nonsense. She's blowing the whistle again. So come on, guys. Just settle down.
I wonder if you put music to those sort of things, would it look good?
Oh, sure it would. You need the right sort of music, though. Maybe some Enya. Would some Enya work for that one?
Not sure. It looked like a progressive barn dance for a while there.
Well,
There's absolutely no punches thrown. It's a complete waste of time.
That was my second choice, was a polka.
Yeah.
Of some sort, maybe a Weird Al polka or some such. Now, there was a high shot in there, so that's what the penalty went for. Magpies get the penalty and take the kick, and it gets them 20 metres out from their own side. Sideline, Ralphie, you're over there, and how's the crowd reacting at the moment, mate? You could be right, some tempers may fray before the end of this one. Caleb Lidico charges forward. He's done well to get back on the field after suffering a bit of a head clash earlier on. He gives it back to his front row partner, Luke Duffel, who's been a bit quiet in this second half, but he now gets over halfway, centre field, 5 metres into the Lions' turf. Here today, thanks to IGA Liquor, Lyndhurst, North Bomaderry. Magpies now 40 metres out, 4 tackles 2 left in this set. It comes back across the left to Joe Rogers. Joe Rogers dummies inside and then gets it across to Jack Woodall. Jack Woodall, he dummies and beats one and then gets claimed in the tackle by Daniel Brown. He's got an arm free looking for an offload. Didn't give it. Last tackle, 35 metres out. Comes out to the right to Ingold. Kicking across the left-hand side, looking to find his winger. It's bounced over Christian Jarrett's head. It's been cleaned up by Isaac Russell just as well because had Russell Shepherd hard on his hammer there. There was a clever kick and maybe a different bounce might have been a different story. Now the Lions will have to work it out of their own territory. And there's an encouraging run there. That's Cody Gumley Quine has come across, take some pressure off, and he's brought it up on the right-hand side. Now it comes through into the centre field. Some crushing defence there by Ralston. 20 metres out from their own line. Magpies doing well to trap the Lions down their own end of the park. Joe Rogers with a head-on tackle there, helped underneath by Ralston again, getting through a power of defence in this particular set of 60. Or McCarroll moves into dummy half, 30 metres out. Has a little sprint, gets 35 metres out. They've done well, the Magpies, in this set.
They've done well in this half, if you look at it, Max. They've been involved in it. They've scored some easy tries, the Lions, but it's not the domination we thought it was going to be.
Rickson Russell kicked from in his own 40, was charged down. So Gumley Quine was onside when he picked it up, and it's 6 again. He got it out to Danny Wedd, and Danny Wedd is now 40 metres out, and that's what you said about charge downs. Sometimes they give you more trouble than they're worth.
Yeah, very rare, as you said, but very hard not to put your hands up if someone's kicking a football that close to you.
Exactly, and now the Lions on the attack. They're 28 metres out. They're almost centre field. They come to the right-hand side through Rickson Russell, and they fire it out through Cal Collins. He's beaten one. He's only got the fullback to beat. He runs away from McCarthy and will score on the right-hand side. He deserved a try. And, excuse me, a good try there to Cal Collins.
Yeah, he would be happy. And when you look, if they get an opportunity to look at that try from the club's point of view during the week, you'll find that Cal Collins had to score because he actually out-sprinted the outside backs. There was no support. I think Aidan McCarty was a little bit slow getting across. He's got a bit of a limp on at the moment. But, yeah, good try. Again, we see the power of this back row.
Tell you what, sideline Ralphie, you were quite close to that one. You wouldn't want to be in front of Cal Collins when he's all fired up and running at you like that, would you? And McCarty had done well previously in the game, but look, I think the angle that and the proximity of the try line made it almost impossible for him to get stopped there. And
Rick's the easiest kick he's had since he
scored his own try. Rickson Russell will look to add to the 42-point lead. Now, according to our calculations, we were running through the abacus earlier on today. They are now sitting in second spot on the live ladder. Shellharbour City Sharks on 24 points. The Lions, the Superos, the Knights, as it stands, all on 22 points. But on terms of for and against, this kick will take the Gerriongong Lions into second position.
Yeah, and just repeating, this is a catch-up game, so all teams would have played the same amount of games at the end of this game. So second place on the ladder, 4 weeks to go. That would make very happy club for Gerriongong, Darryl Hobbs and Michael Crone.
Considering the amount of injuries they've had and the fact they've lost 3 of their last 5 games as well, all the good work they've done early in the season is paying off now. And a 9-try game so far. This is Rickson Russell's 9th kick for goal today. He's got a 33% success rate as stands. This one's about 15 metres to the right of the uprights, kicking towards the northwest. And he's pushed that one through. It wasn't the world's most handsome kick, but it doesn't say how you got him. It just says that you got him. Yeah, I think you might have heard me with the wind blowing across the field. 4 out of 9 for Russell on a day. It's not good for goal kickers because of the strange wind we've got blowing here at the Berry-Shoalhaven. Takes the score to 44-0, takes the Gerriongong Lions into second place on the ladder as it stands. The Magpies to kick off again. 9.5 minutes to go here at Berry-Shoalhaven, and we're going to lose the sun in about 3 minutes. It's going to get cold here, Danny. So cold. Yeah, winter is coming.
Been like that for the entire day on the other side, Max. So we've gone okay.
We've done well. Now Josh Ingold resumes kicking off duties there. Jack Parrish has had enough of it for this half, but he still kicks it to Darren Brown there, down at Daniel Brown. Excuse me. Darren Brown's the hypnotist, isn't he? Yeah. Daniel Brown gets it 20 metres out from his.
It's interesting. Every kickoff's gone exactly the same spot.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Sometimes you might think you might try something different. I always think you kick it to the right-hand corner because then teams have to pass left to right rather than right to left, but that's just me. I'm a little old-fashioned. Daniel Brown gets the ball on the right-hand side, 40 metres out. Corey Mulhall, another one of these trademark strong runs, bursts through one and then drops the ball in trying to the tackle. There may have been a hand in there, but you have to hold onto the ball when that attention is being given to you. And the Magpies will get a scrum, and I don't think either side will be in a huge hurry to pack this one down with 8.5 minutes to go.
Only mistake he's made all day, Corey Mulhall.
He's had a huge game, Corey Mulhall. Both centres have. And might be hard to pick them for man of the match a little later on. We've got to think about that in about 8.5 minutes.
IGA liquor out in the match, Max.
Yep, $100 to spend wisely and drink responsibly at an IGA liquor store through the Shoalhaven or through Gerriongong or anywhere for that matter. Joe Rogers now taking the ball one off the ruck after the scrum win for the Magpies. Gets 5 metres into Lions territory and gives it out to Luke Ryder, who's tried all day, the big back row for the Magpies. He's been their best, I'd say, along with the fullback.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed from a very Shoalhaven Head Magpies point of view as far as their enthusiasm and their efforts being concerned and just been outclassed, but they've certainly tried. As you said, there's been a couple of their back rowers. Also, James Milne's had a couple of opportunities, and the fullback's been excellent.
Now Jack Parrish, speaking of back rowers, gets taken across wide on the right-hand side, about 5 metres in from the western touchline. A couple of tackles left for the Magpies. They're about 12 metres out. A Magpie down in back play here is a bit too much goes on in the tackle there. Carolee says you didn't let him up in time to play the ball, and the penalty goes to the Magpies 5 metres out. It's Joe Rogers who's down injured in back play. He's up now getting attended by the trainer. Looking a bit worse for wear there. Nothing too serious though. Got the magic sponge, he seems to be all right now. Good news. Taken forward by Holland after the kick penalty. Only 5 metres out. Now a chance now for the Magpies to get some points on the board. Taken up right in the shade of the post. I think that might have been Luke Ryder again. He's done well. It's only 5 metres out. They get it to the left. No, they go to the right-hand side now. It's through McCarty. McCarty had the ball stripped out in a one-on-one strip, but there was just another player involved in that tackle.
No, offside.
They say she is calling offside. Okay, you're dead
So
right there.
there was nothing wrong with the tackle. I thought it was a one-on-one strip as you called it, but
have you seen more one-on-one strips in a game than today? I think there's been about 8.
It's been good.
It's been outstanding. Atfield now takes it forward, and he's only 5 metres out from the try line. 2 metres to the left of the uprights. Comes across to Ingold. Ingold dummies and goes himself and gets tackled by McCarroll right round the boot tops. Copybook. Beautiful tackle by McCarroll. Tackled 2 metres out, 15 metres in from the eastern touchline. It's going to come back to Ralston and very, very slow play the ball. Ralston gets back to the right-hand side to Dryden, and Dryden finds big Luke Ryder, and Luke Ryder gets tackled by about 17 Lions, it seems like there. That'll leave a few gaps out somewhere. They come to the right, they come to the left, and fed back in there to Ralston by Scott. That to Ralston, I think he might have gone under the posts there, off the pass by Joshua Ingold. Keep your eye out for the try scorer.
14.
But I think it was Ralston, the try scorer. Ralston. And the Magpies have got a try with 6 minutes to go. It's 44-6. Is it comeback time, Danny? I did pick an upset.
I'm assuming, Ralphie, that the old boys have moved from what was up in the eastern corner back into the grandstand, and that's the roar we heard when they scored. It'll be a big night tonight for the old boys, regardless of the score tonight.
We've got a scoreline that reads, I've got 44-4. The scoreboard's saying 48-4. I'm sure it's only 44-4. It was 42 when they scored the try.
Yep.
And then they kicked the goal, it's 44. So it's all the fours, 44.
It's 44.
4 for 44. Good score if you're playing cricket. Well, if you're the bowling side.
44 points is not enough to get in the second spot either.
Exactly. Well, actually, this is good point.
40 points, I think.
40 points. So, and if they get the kick, which it looks like they will because it's been steered over there, can't quite see who kicked that one. I've got a feeling it might have been Jack Parrish.
Shooting style.
It was stroking it. It was kind of like a snooker shot almost, wasn't it? It was like slow. It was like his ball was connected to the foot for a long time. And that was actually taken by Luke Ryder. He's been rewarded with a goal kick. Yeah, has Ryder, and he's put over the points which have meant that slips back the Lions into third position on the ladder as it stands. So they have 4 minutes and 42 seconds to try and score another try to try and get that lead, that points differential back to the stage where it'll leave them in second position. There goes the sun. It's cold already. The Magpies bring it out now 20 metres from their own line. Their tails are flying now with that meat pie they scored a couple of minutes ago. 6 points on the board. Won't be enough though, but good to see them still committing and competing for the full 80 minutes here. They come 40 metres out to the left-hand side through Joe Rogers. Joe Rogers throws the pass out to the try scorer, Ralston. Ralston tackled 10 metres from halfway, centre field. They'll look back to the left-hand side. Yeah, they'll keep coming left. It goes through Joe Rogers with the kick. Looking for Milne. And grabbed there on the attack by Jack Woodall. Woodall's got through and he's given it back to Dryden. Dryden's beaten one. Looking for Ralston, the try scorer on the right. Now he comes back to the left and gives it to Orford. Orford goes back to the right-hand side, and talk about razzle-dazzle stuff. They're finally grounded 15 metres out. Christian Jarrett involved in the tackle there. Last tackle here. Let's see if they can get another try on the board here. Joe Rogers fires it out to Luke Ryder. Ryder looked like he was going to kick it, but no, he leaves that to In-goal. In-goal kicks it, and it's been taken over there on the left wing. I think it was Joel Ducey diffused the bomb, and it was a bit frantic there for a couple of seconds.
Well, Luke Ryder's obviously got some skills, Max, because there was a banana from off his right foot that went out to the winger. So he had that, not bizarre, but unusual kicking style for the shot at goal, but that was a good kick.
It was a good kick, that one, and lucky that Ducey was there to deflect the kick as the... Oh my goodness gracious, it's got a little Hitchcock on us there. You might hear the cockatoos going over us. Or rather, there's nasty corellas. There's about 300,000 of them circling the Berry Showground at the moment. Luckily, we've got a roof over our heads. Otherwise, we might be subject to some good luck. Now, out of dummy half goes Isaac Russell and gets it out to the left-hand side. It's gone out to... I can't see it's gone, and the kick is over the right-hand side. They've kicked it through, and Blake Dryden is back there. That's some good work from the hooker, because that break was made about 50 metres previous downfield. He just run straight for the posts and ended up fielding the kick. Well done by Dryden.
Max, there's actually 5 or 6 of the Magpies were back in support there in defence, which is an excellent sign for a team that's down by what we think is 38 points with 2 minutes left on the clock.
They've done very well as well. And now, oh gee, tell what the Lions are trying to force a mistake here so they can get this extra try and maybe put themselves in second points on the ladder. But the Magpies are having none of it at the moment. McCarthy goes for a run out of dummy half, gets tackled 15 metres short of halfway, 15 metres in from the eastern touchline. And they come across to the right through Dryden, gets back to Liddicoat. Liddicoat powers them to within 12 metres of halfway. Last tackle, wouldn't be surprised if they keep running it here. Yeah, of course, so Joe Rogers kicks it. That's a good kick. That's gone end over end and been bounced right in front of Isaac Russell and went back another 10 metres or so. He catches it almost back under his post on the first bounce and then runs back to the 20 and gets through one, but doesn't get through the second tackle there. Luke Duffel, good defence from the big front rower, brings him to ground 25 metres out, 20 metres in from the western touchline, and a little bit too much going on. Yeah, second effort in the play the ball there. Cara Lee blows the penalty up. Minute 39 left. They lead 44-6, the Gerriongong Lions, and they have a kick for touch. That may not go out. Yes, it will just go out. Quite a good kick as it happens. Danny Free, you'd like that one. Got them 5 metres into the Magpies side, and we might see some razzle-dazzle in this set.
Yeah, I think we will, Max. I think they're going to see what they can turn on here. Gumley Quine takes the tap, and for the first time today, not only has been tackled, but smashed and driven back 10 metres.
That was McCarthy, I think, the fullback. Oh, no, it's... Anyway, it was a Magpies player who refused to turn around and show us his number, so it was a good tackle anyway. But now the Lions come out to the right-hand side. Who's to say they're not going to keep going this way? Daniel Brown's moved to the right. He's got Mulhall outside him as well, and Todd Digger as well. They come this way, and it comes out to Mulhall, and he pushes into one, but he doesn't. He gets held. James Milne's done well. He's contained him pretty much in this second half after letting them run right in the first half. Christian Jarrett, the winger, to dummy half, goes out to Daniel Brown. Brown finds Digger, who's probably might have been one of the Lions' best in this second half. Now comes out to Ricks and Russell after the late offload up to his brother Isaac. Isaac gets it out to Gumley Quine. That's a beautiful pass out to Ducey. Ducey gets it back to Gumley Quine. Gumley Quine finds PJ Ford. PJ Ford could have almost scored himself. He got the ball back inside. I thought it might have gone forward. Yes, it did. No, he's saying someone's tackled without the ball there, are they? And there's a scuffling back play there. And there's a few players involved. Now they're coming from everywhere back on the 30-metre line. Couldn't tell you who it is because they're all involved in there. Someone tried to throw the ball at Isaac Russell's head and missed. The ball's gone into touch. And I think every player on the field, apart from one smart magpie who's staying out of it, is within about a 5-metre radius circle over there, Danny Free.
Well, did you see that? I was watching the football at the other end. There was a couple of players in a bit of a tussle back on the ground. It's a long way away from the ball.
And meanwhile, Cara Lee's having a word to them, and she's probably thought, goodness, the full-time whistle is gone. And full-time, according to the scoreboard, is 48-6. The real score is 40-46. And we'll take a break and be back to wrap it all up here. It's Group 7 Rugby League on Kicks FM.